Today we are talking minivans. We are in studio with the 2025 Toyota Sienna. This is a Platinum trim. We're also going to be walking you guys around a Woodland over there, and we have an XSE outside. So we'll take you through most of the lineup here. But we have a few new very cool features with the 2025 Sienna. As you can see on the outside, not a whole lot of changes, but we have some clever little additions that will make this a much more usable and enjoyable family vehicle. The first of which you can see back here is a vacuum. So it's positioned right here in the middle, kind of right where you need it to suck up all those Cheerios. Unlike the Honda vac, which used to be in the back, you have access to the filter and everything down here that just pops out. You can open this up, clean it out, and you just have a little access panel that closes over that. Right now, the interior of the Sienna is spotless because people have just been vacuuming it nonstop all week during this press preview, but we'll turn on the vehicle here in a minute and show you guys what that can do. Other news, we've got this Ottoman style lounge seat for the second row, which is very neat. Very cool. Not a whole lot of changes in the third row. We have this new two-tone interior, which is called Macadamia. Very sharp looking on the inside, and a few changes in the front. Let's hop inside. We'll put this in accessory mode and show you some more of the updates here. So we have the new 12.3-inch Toyota infotainment screen here, as well as a fully digital gauge cluster. Very similar to what we've seen in many other Toyota models over the last couple of years. Same infotainment, a really nice system, pretty responsive, and just very simple to use. We get lots of physical buttons down here for climate control. Toyota has updated the wireless charger for the 2025 model year. Outputs a little bit more power, and it has these bumpers to keep your phone from sliding around. And then we get a new center console design in this Platinum here. This is a kind of a faux wood trim that fades to black. Looks very fancy, very nice. Again, all the materials in here feel great. You've got this perforated steering wheel. Lots more physical controls over here to the left to adjust your heated steering wheel, automatic headlamps, 120 volt AC power. You can pop the fuel filler cap and also access your camera view here too. No changes to the powertrain. This is still powered by the 2.5 liter hybrid. You can get it in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive in every trim except for the Woodland, and you can only get that in all-wheel drive. We'll talk about that in a minute. Another new feature for the 2025 model year is a millimeter wave radar system that detects whether rear occupants are still in the vehicle after it's been locked and shut off. So Toyota used to have this kind of irritating door logic where if you open the door during a trip and you close the door and locked it, it would beep at you saying, hey, don't forget if someone's in the back seat. This replaces that with a more intelligent system that can sense motion in the vehicle after it's been locked. The cool thing about millimeter wave radar is that if you have a baby under a blanket, for example, this sensor located right here can detect motion under that blanket and kind of give you a series of beeps as time goes on. So it'll start with just a beep after about 10 seconds, and then it'll progress if you haven't done anything about it, if you've forgotten your kids in your car, to the alarm going off, and then it'll send you a text with the notification through the Toyota app. So pretty cool technology, and it is something you can disable if you don't have kids or if you just don't want it to be on, but it is neat to have and a good implementation or replacement for what Toyota's used in the past for their rear occupant detection. All right, so now that we've got the vehicle on, we can operate our vacuum. So we just press this, it turns on. We've got a couple crumbs down here we can suck up. There are a couple different heads for this vacuum attachment, so that's nice. And then there's also a cool box here. So we've got some refrigerated water bottles, and this is all powered by a 1500 watt inverter. So you can plug in quite a few accessories in there. This can power a whole refrigerator, whatever you need pretty much. You also get some rear seat entertainment. It's been a while since we've walked around a Sienna. It's been a few years since one came out, but it's just so cool to see how much space you get in a minivan. Really deep storage down here, Toyota gives you a numbered system to fold down this third row. And those second row seats are on pretty long sliders. There's a lot of adjustment there. You can go from enormous expanses of legroom, putting these all the way back, to giving those third row passengers pretty much all the space they would ever need. This is really nice because you can move the seat pretty far forward with a car seat in it, and people can access the third row from this door opening. New for 2025 is also the Beyond Zero HEV badge here. All right, let's check out the Woodland trim of the 2025 Sienna. So the big news here is this actually has a 15mm ride height lift over all the other trims of the Sienna. So finally, someone is making an off-road or adventure-oriented trim with slightly higher ride height, which is great. So differently tuned suspension. We have these roof rails that are standard, lots of blacked out accents on the upper part of the windows, this door handle trim, and on the front grille. It's a little bit sharper of a looking package. This is based on the XLE Sienna, just with a little bit more content for those rugged adventures you may want to go on. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight so you can see these floor mats. You've got pine trees and sunsets. And these are represented all throughout the vehicle. Front seat, rear seat. These are standard on the Woodland trim. Very nice if you live in the snow belt or if you take your minivan camping. This is probably the Sienna that I would go for. Otherwise, we can see a few differences in the interior with this Woodland. Different finishing here, different stitching on the dashboard. Slightly different seat design here too. We also get these new wheels that look very similar to the RAV4 Woodland wheel design. These sit on Bridgestone Turanza LS100 tires in 235/60 R18s. Nice to see some sidewall on these. Here's a look at that second row. Kind of rugged looking seats. Caramel stitching here. A lot of space in the back of the Sienna. So I just got some ground clearance numbers. The Woodland 50mm ride height change takes this from about 6.4 inches of ground clearance on all other trims to just shy of 7 inches of ground clearance. So you can see we've got quite a bit more ride height here just from the front bumper underneath. 7 inches of ground clearance should get you through some pretty nasty terrain, and the fact this is all-wheel drive, a little bit of sidewall on the tires, is a great starting point for a more adventure-oriented minivan. All right, let's hop outside and check out the XSE, the sportier version of the Toyota Sienna. We're also going to get a demonstration of the advanced rear seat reminder with a millimeter wave radar detection. All right, here's a view of the XSE. You can see we have a different honeycomb grille down below. This is painted in ruby flare, which is a stunning color in the sunlight. Really nice looking red. And of course, we're outside right now, so you can actually get a look of what this looks like. These are new 20-inch wheels for the XSE Sienna. 235/50 R 20-inch Michelin Primacy all-season tires. Pretty cool looking minivan, if you ask me. I think the Sienna has aged really well with its new design. Looks sharp, modern, and it's hugely functional and spacious inside. The XSE, being the sportier trim, does have retuned suspension. So that's sway bars, dampers, spring rates. It's all just tuned a little bit more towards handling. This one we can probably even fully start up here. Really nice, spacious interior here. I like the shift knob. Everything is just easy to use, easy to operate. Super deep center console here with a couple USB-C ports. Little sunroof. These visors slide, fold down nicely. Great visibility all the way around too. Nice low door frame right here. Rear doors open pretty quickly. All right, before we wrap up this video, let's do a quick demonstration of the advanced rear seat detection system, and that'll be it for this one.
Okay, we're gonna get out of the vehicle. I close it and lock it. The milliwave radar is gonna scan for 8 seconds, and when it notices that there's actually an movement in the vehicle, it's gonna give us this initial beep warning.
And then eventually it'll start, the alarm will go off and everything.
Correct. And then if you do not acknowledge that initial warning, then after, I believe it's 4 minutes, the horn will start to sound.
Okay.
And then if that's not acknowledged, it will also send a text message and give you an automated call to the owner's cell phone.
Cool.
Whoever's registered to the actual vehicle.
Great.
Yeah.